Everybody, it's Adam L. coming to you again with a much requested video on how to deploy one of our patented double blaze bars. This is the exact bracelet that I made in that truncated video, and again I want to go on record as apologizing for my complete failure to produce the video properly. I shot it on my iPhone and I maxed out the memory on the phone, and that's why it shut off so abruptly. But people have asked, how do you deploy these? Well, I'm going to show you, okay? You'll recall this is how we, this is the design. You have the shackle on sideways with a pin and the adjustment thing that I, again, repurposed as just a decorative detail. All right, to deploy this, take the pin out, obviously, and just quickly get this off of here. Assuming it's on your wrist, just take this off, okay? And put the pin back so you don't lose it. And there's a very good reason for this. First and foremost, shackles aren't cheap and you want to be able to keep this. Alright, so you've got your whole bracelet here with the adjustment thingy on it. And the first thing to do is take any decorative items you have off and set those aside. Alright, now in a single blaze bar configuration, you can grab the shackle, grab the bracelet, and yank, and the whole thing will come apart. The reason that will work that way is because there's not nearly as much friction as there is with a bracelet like this. Remember, we got a lot of cord here wrapped around 4 loops. Now this is important. You'll recall that we weaved around the loops. We never went through them, okay? And this is what makes this deployable, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. There is absolutely nothing fancy about it. You just start pulling from the bottom, and remember, we're not pulling the loops, we're just pulling the weave. And I know they call this a quick deploy, but it's going to take just a few seconds to get the whole thing done. And of course, keep in mind also, you've probably worn this thing for a little bit. So, I mean, there's going to be a limit to how fast that you can get it off. But like I said, we'll do it this way. It's a whole lot faster than untying anything else. So all I'm doing is, like I said, pulling the weave straight down off of the loops, and like I said, once you get going, it's pretty damn easy. You'll notice there's no untying really to speak of. All you're doing is pulling, and like I said, you can get this whole thing done in probably under a minute. But I wish it was something really super secret and high tech, but it just isn't. So like I said, these loops will pop out of here. They'll stay in place because they're actually attached to the shackle, but remember, none of our weaving is. So I don't know if I can get all of it at this point, probably not, but and like I said, if you're for instance, if you're in a situation where you really need 19 or 20 feet of power, paracord. You notice I'm not doing anything special. I'm not untying anything. All I'm doing is pulling, and the loops stay put, and out everything comes. So I can't quite get the whole thing to go in one shot. Yeah, the single blaze bars are nice because they don't have as much friction. You recall also we snugged this up a whole bunch of times, and that's part of the reason this takes a couple extra seconds to do, but just a little bit at a time. And I'll remind you when I'm done here that this is actually 2 pieces of cord. But all right, so that's the whole thing right there. So you've got your 20 feet of cord here. And then it's just a matter of backing off your cow stitches and letting the shackle out. The reason I said put the pin back in the shackle is because you can reuse the shackle. You know what I mean? So actually, I take that back. We'll pop it out because otherwise your cow stitches won't come off. So there it is, kids. Like I said, almost 20 feet of paracord, deployed in short order. So like I said, that's all there is to it. It's not rocket science. Please don't make it any harder than it has to be. And as always, I really appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you at the range.